Spark was developed in response to a Green Ribbon study commissioned by the mayor and county judge about how to increase Houston-Harris County's park space. In 1983, Houston needed 5,000 acres of parkland to compare favorably to other cities. Councilmember Tinsley gave the report to a summer intern who highlighted the suggestion, make use of public school grounds. The rest is history. Councilmember Tinsley had served as a trustee for the Houston Independent School District and knew the people who could make this idea happen. An interlocal agreement was written stating that the school district would maintain the property and improvements. The parks, however, would be open to the community after school and on weekends. In 1983, not all schools were open and welcoming to the community. So this was a change in philosophy for many principals, and it opened the way for schools and community members to develop an important relationship. Spark's main objective is to increase park space and help build a healthier community. Did you know that Houston is currently one of the fattest cities in America? Unfortunately, most students are more excited about watching TV or playing video games than exercising or playing outside. This is creating a health crisis in many underserved populations. For instance, diabetes is currently a disease that's running rampant in low-income communities. On top of that, many parents are afraid to send their children to the neighborhood park because of safety issues. This is especially a problem in neighborhoods where there are gangs. Spark Parks provide a safe place for students and their families to exercise and play outside in a location near their homes. Spark is effective because we leverage funds, have low administrative costs, partner with other nonprofits, and have a great track record of success. On average, it costs from $75,000 to $125,000 to build Spark Parks at elementary schools, and even more for middle and high school parks because they're typically on larger campuses. Fortunately, Spark has received Federal Community Development Block Grant or CDBG funds since 1988 when the City of Houston was forced to return unspent funds that weren't used in a timely manner. This CDBG funding, which is around $50,000 to $75,000 per school in a qualifying neighborhood, jumpstarts the park budget significantly and makes a tremendous impact on students and communities. When we began Spark, we were focused on providing more public park space in the Houston area. However, one of the byproducts of Spark is that it also empowers communities. We do this by inviting the people living in surrounding Spark neighborhoods to work with the school personnel. There are many ways they can get involved in the project because there are several steps from its beginning to its completion. To start, every school has a goal of raising $5,000. That way, community members can be contributors to projects aimed at achieving that goal. Students collect pennies, aluminum cans, and newspapers, as well as sell candy, wrapping paper, and pickles. Community members can attend PTA and PTO events, such as silent auctions, carnivals, field days, golf tournaments, and spaghetti dinners. They're also invited to contribute to the park's planning and design. They are even free to volunteer throughout the process, using their unique gifts to contribute to a park they'll be proud to have. The result is an empowered community, very interested in the school their children attend. Our success is measured in completed parks. After construction is finished, trees are planted and artwork installed. The park is celebrated with a big dedication. The whole school is encouraged to participate, along with the school choir, cheerleaders, Boy Scout troops, and others. Elected officials are invited, as well as school district personnel, community leaders, and parents. There's a dedication invitation sent to community members, as well as individual school invitations that are sent to Spark contributors and workers. The students draw pictures of the park, which are attached to certificates for those who donated time and money. Spark Week, the last full week of November before Thanksgiving, is when dedications are generally held. After that, a follow-up questionnaire is sent to principals to get ideas on how to improve or tweak the program. Many people are surprised to learn how small our staff at Spark is. Our administrative costs are low because we only have one full-time executive director and one part-time assistant. This is possible because of our partnership with the principals. They form a Spark committee made up of staff, parents, and community members who design and fundraise for the park. A volunteer or paid architect works with the Spark committee to design the park. The school district gathers bids, monitors construction, and pays bills. Federal and Spark money is then reimbursed to the school districts. Maintenance is handled by school districts since all of our parks are on school property. Our board of directors is small but unique. It's made up of a diverse group of community activists who are committed to our mission. One of Spark's major accomplishments is the solid group of corporate and foundation contributors who funded our program for many years. One local foundation said it was the biggest bang for the buck they got. Another accomplishment that makes us proud is our inclusion in a book that's currently being written. It tells the story of school playgrounds and how they've evolved in New York City, Denver, Boston, and Houston. The case study for Houston is about the Spark program. Spark is easily replicated, and we're very excited that our program is expanding to other cities and school districts outside of the Houston area. At one time, federal funding provided over 50% of the Spark budget. Now, we receive approximately 30%, drastically reducing our working capital. Unfortunately, community development block grant funds have been reduced across the board for all cities, including Houston, during a time when we need them the most. Federal funding is dictated by 10-year census data that is outdated 2 years after it's published. Spark would be greatly enhanced if the government used its own free and reduced lunch program statistics, which are updated every school year, to determine its funding for our program. We've argued this point, but since we tout the project as a community park, the census data is the measurement tool that's used. Another challenge for us has been construction to replace older schools in the Houston and Harris County area. Spark needs to be sure that parks are built after the construction of the new school, or even better, are included in the overall plans of the campus. There never seems to be enough funding in Texas for public education and amenities to schools to enhance learning experiences. There also never seems to be enough money to enhance parks. However, quality of life issues in the Houston area are very much in demand. Spark has a proven brand and history of fundraising for community parks on school grounds. The more money that's raised, the more enticing a park can be to families that need to find safe places for their outdoor activities. Spark bridges that gap. Schools are located in all communities, and its citizens are paying for the property. They should be able to enjoy the benefits of a park as well. There are always schools that are in neighborhoods that don't qualify for federal funding, but that serve a low socioeconomic group of students. A gap exists between community and federal funding that needs to be filled for these schools. We'd love to more fully develop the public art component in Spark Parks. The students love to leave their mark on the park. Local artists, parents, and art teachers help with this piece of the park development. While it's true that Houston is filled with world-renowned art museums, many children don't have the means to visit them. This would at least expose them to a variety of artistic opportunities. More of our schools want to add gardens to introduce and educate students and their parents about the importance of fresh, healthy produce. A strong public education is the best answer for a strong community, city, state, and country. Spark is part of making the public school in every neighborhood a strong center of the community.